Hello and welcome back to Rascal Bricks. My name's Brad again. We're continuing from where we left off. We'll be on box 3 of our filtration process of boxes attained off of eBay. Hopefully this one will be better than our last one, just because of the amount of crushed pins and garbage and things along that nature we found in the last bag. First box was actually really pretty good. But the second bag was not as great, not horrific, not the worst I've encountered, but still not the greatest. So we'll see about this next box here. We're gonna go ahead and take the bag out of the box, place it on the table here, working table. Throw the box to the side. And first things first that I noticed in this bag is I have a bunch of, we have a number of these, not a bunch, but a number of these Lego bags with pieces in them, and this is almost like gold to us who are doing these filterings and cleanings things that I do. Outside of minifigures and completely made sets, this is probably the third most valuable thing you could find, and the reason for that being is because one, these are brand new pieces versus anything else that you find in a bulk box. Those have to be considered some used, even if they look brand new, and you definitely sell them as in excellent condition, but you still can't say they're new. You can't guarantee they're new. These you can guarantee is new, and these are definitely more valuable as a result of that. Also, sometimes you could potentially have a full, and I have encountered it once or twice, where I have had a whole set within a few boxes, not maybe all within the same box, but like I said, if you get a group of boxes together, there's a chance that you could find an entire set within that grouping of boxes that hasn't been made. And then that'll go for quite a bit, if that's what you desire. Or, again, you could just open this up and use these as model pieces, but they're definitely more valuable when they're known to be new on the resale market. So finding any of these is very nice, typically, because then you can resell them for quite a bit, especially if you can put them together in a group. And as it so happens, I've got that bag. Looks like I've got this one. And what I will do too is I will look for any unique pieces within this bag, and then again go to Bricklink, try to identify what sets they might have come from, and I can actually figure out where these bags came from, which set, and identify the set it actually went to, which helps a lot, because otherwise there's no real marking on the outside of this other than maybe the year of the trademark. But as you see, if I were to pick any piece in this set to try to find out where this came from, it would be this right here. This is unique. It's a much rarer piece. In fact, it's the first time I've ever seen it. So I would look for this particular piece on Bricklink, and then based upon the pieces in this bag, I should be able to identify what set this came from. A little harder to do on smaller bags, so here's this one. It's got some form of a sticker on a tile, which usually they ship the sticker separately, so that must be pre-made on the brick. And flip it over, it would look like, for this one, I would try to go off of this piece here. This looks like a piece of a minecart, the top portion of it. So that's how I would try to identify this bag. And more than likely, this one, well, I can't say that for sure. This one might be along with the others that I've pulled out. But again, until I look for unique pieces in the bag and then identify all the other pieces that more than likely go with an entire set. That's how I go through them. So, it's got, I think I saw one more in here. Yeah, here we go. So this is a smaller bag. You typically find these bags in these larger numbered bags. It's going to be a lot harder for me to figure out where this came from, if at all. So then at that point, I just, we'll sell as these are brand new pieces, because again, not been opened. So I stick those to the side. and they will get sorted, and they won't. And the other nice thing about it is they don't have to be cleaned because they're brand new, so they don't have to go through the cleaning process. They are immediate return, almost an immediate return item. So anyway, I can already tell, just based upon the condition of these bricks, that this is going to be a much better bag than the last one. The bricks are almost perfect condition. Excellent corners, no deformations, no bite marks that we had in that last bag. So that's good. That's good to see that, because I tell you what, I was getting pretty tired of dealing with those. There's some dust here. You can see that from off that light black piece there, but that's nothing. Dust is nothing. That'll come right out. And then we have some pre-assembled pieces, you know, that are nice to take apart. So we'll do that now. And I don't even have to check to see if these are non-Legos for the most part, because a build like this, it's almost always guaranteed to be, not saying it will always, but it's almost always going to be Lego Origin, especially if you recognize it. Another way to identify sets as easily is by stickers. Bricklink will actually separate. You can find the piece with, you know, as it is, with the piece as it is on Bricklink, or you can find the piece as it is with a sticker as well. They separate those out in addition to the normal piece versus this piece with the sticker on it, and it makes things easier to identify sometimes. More than likely, it's probably why Lego ended up, I think, buying them out. It's because it was such a useful site for many people. So Lego smartly recognized that, and likely is what led to them getting bought by Lego. I'm 95% certain that's the case. I read something somewhere about that happening. I think on the site itself or something like that nature. But this is a wind up. I'll see if we can demonstrate it. You put an axle through here, you can actually wind it back like a spring. You know, those old race cars, you would wind backwards, and then it goes forward when you let go. That's what this is. Now you can something like this, because it's not electronic and I don't see any exposed metal, and I'm not super concerned about water messing this up. I will put this, actually, you know, did I do that for the last one or not? Now I don't remember. No, I might just wash the outside of this. That's how I do the electronic ones too, and we'll get to that at some point. So I will put that to the side so it doesn't end up getting in through the soaking process, because the soaking process, when I let things soak in a bucket for basically a day, full day at least, the water could end up getting in there and ruining that over time, that spring. So we'll leave that out. Definitely better condition than the last bag so far. Not saying the bottom of the bag will show the same to be true, but at the moment, I haven't found any pieces to tell me otherwise. See, now I'm getting a whiff of, and I know you can't get that there. There's no smell-o-vision yet. I am now getting a whiff of some form of clothing, dryer sheet out of this bag. So more than likely, not entirely sure I can pinpoint it because I haven't smelled every single one, but I at least recognize it as being some form of a clothing fabric softener of some sorts or something. I don't own any Mario sets personally. However, I do feel like this is probably from them based upon the looks of the pieces, that I've seen of sets online. The color of the greens. It could also be Minecraft. And I typically leave wheels on wheel hubs if they're already on, just because it's, you know, it's less likely that any dirt got in there unless it was constantly removed. The hub on the middle was constantly taken in and out, so I will typically just wash the wheel as is. If I feel like there was a sign that it was taken apart like this, you know, where the wheel hub was started coming out of the rubber, then I will go ahead and wash them separately. But in most cases, when wheels are put together like this, there's a tendency that they don't end up coming apart. I also tend to keep these intact. These dice, I think they're from part of a Lego game, board game that was existing. I don't take the little tiles off and everything because, again, this was likely kept in place. It all depends upon how dirty it is, of course. And this is in really good condition, so I think a good soak and then an outside scrub will be fine. But that's all your personal preference, obviously. You can do whatever you want. Let's say that this is what makes me think this is a Mario, the way this is contained. I don't think this is Minecraft, but I could be wrong. Oh, and it actually has a broken. Interesting, somebody actually did snap this piece, as you can see. It's possible I might find the other end in here if it came from the same grouping, so maybe I'll put it aside, because if I can find the other end, I might be able to salvage this with some super glue, maybe, but we'll see. It wouldn't be able to be resold, you know, to separately, like at Bricklink or anything like that, to a buyer, but it might be useful to a model creator, or you know, it's just you're not being used for its full strength, or you know, as the set itself. I would never sell pieces like that in a set that I would recreate from pieces I find, because that's just, to me, that's just wrong. A set should have all the pieces intact and useful as if they bought them from the store. You know, might not be in perfect condition, but as close to it as possible. That's for sure. Because that's what I would want. If I was buying a set, I'd want it as close to being from store quality as possible. You know, so your requirements change based upon what the bricks are used for. No, that piece did not get separated out. Let's see if yep, I found it. Well, there's the, does that match? Nope, but certainly the same color. Could be of the same piece, but at this point, now that I've found two, if it turns out that it is indeed broken into more than two pieces, I will not repair it. At that point, I will put it in the trash pile, because I don't trust the integrity of it for sure at that point. I'll glue two pieces together. I'm not gluing more than that and expect that its strength and capabilities are going to be anywhere near the same of what they were originally designed for. So there's dust on this one. I have some models that you saw on the tour that are probably near that dusty. And we're gonna get to how we clean those, how I found the best, at least, to clean those myself. Maybe somebody will give me a better idea in the long run, but at the same time, maybe I can help somebody who isn't, who's been wondering, how do you clean dust off of models, pre-built models, without taking them all apart and washing them. My back's starting to tell me I need a break, so we may end up taking a break, coming back to this in the same video though. Perhaps tomorrow, because I have not spent nearly as long on this video for sure. Saw hair. I have not spent nearly as long on this. Yep, there's the hair. Trash bag. Not spent nearly as long on this video as I have the last one, so we will likely do a continuation of this video tomorrow, as my back is starting to scream at me, and how I'm sitting in this chair. And it's not the chair itself, don't get me wrong. It's because I'm not leaning back in the chair. I'm trying to lean forward and to show, you know, keep the pieces underneath the video camera. I may have to change the way I do my setup and recording. More than likely I will, you know, as I learn about this whole process and improve upon it. I will likely have to change the way I'm sitting and moving. Now look at that. Our first full figurine, minifigure, I should say. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you can find these still, even upon, as we discussed in the last video, those that they get filtered out by stores ahead of time because they sell for more. So, but again, it's all by, you know, done by a human, and we're not perfect, so they get missed. So this is a good find. So, but so we'll keep him, Batman, here intact as he goes into the pile down there. But yeah, so far this has been a great bag compared to the last one. You ready for bed, Zap? Yeah, you ready for bed. Yeah. My dog just got up and stretched real big, and he knows about what time it is. And he'll start moving towards the door like he's doing now to get out. And we'll go let him out one more time to the restroom and everything. And that is an interesting white. That is definitely Lego branded though, but that is an interesting white. I think I stopped talking about colors and things along that nature in the last video, because I forgot. You know, I get sidetracked by other things as we're working through these Legos and then sorting them. But I believe I mentioned something along the lines of, you can tell the era of certain things based upon the color and the shape and everything of the bricks. You know, really back in the day, back in the 1950s, Lego was only like a few colors: red, white, blue, black. I don't even think there was a gray. There might have been a gray. Yellow was fairly common. And then they started introducing more colors as time went on, obviously. But now, I can't even keep track of all the colors anymore. It's why it's so useful to have a site to be able to go to for that. And check. You know, they've even changed the color of their grays and browns and whatnot over time, to the point where the descriptions aren't even accurate. If you just say brown, you now have to say reddish brown, or you know, with the original colors. So, you know, there was a gray, and now it's light bluish gray, and then there's dark gray, and then dark bluish gray, and so that added some confusion over time. And in the process of making and mixing those colors, you'll find that even some of the reds and some of the browns and everything, even though they're technically classified as the same type of brown, they're not the, you know, dark brown versus regular brown. It's all brown. It's not reddish brown versus brown. But even within the browns, or even within the reds, you'll find differences in color sometimes. And it just happens. And some people could probably even differentiate those colors even more so, if they wanted to, in sortation. But I don't get that much detail when it comes to it. Like if it's a red, I mean, if it is a true red by Bricklink standards, then that is what I go off of, if it's a red. Even if one red's slightly off from another red. But if, you know, if it's dark red versus red, then of course, you know, that's easier to distinguish. But unless those two reds are side by side next to one another, you're not going to notice a difference. And that's the point I'm making. That's where there might have been some off colors in the manufacturing process or whatnot. And it's that. Whatever it is, it's a Lego piece of some sort. It's rubber. It's rubber, though. You see that? It's bendable somewhat, but it is a Lego. It has the Lego group right down there. So it will. I've never seen that before, though. We're flying through this bag compared to the last bag. I know I said I was going to take a break soon, and I'm definitely not going to be able to finish this bag today. Within this video, I will. You just probably will. It'll get skipped to the next day. But I'm flying through this bag compared to the last bag because I don't have to worry about certain things as much. To be honest, I don't have to pay as much attention to pieces because, based upon what I'm seeing in this bag so far, I'm not seeing any signs that there is anything different, damage-wise or non-Lego-wise. Not saying I'm still not checking for the logo and everything. I am. I'm just doing it a lot of faster pace, which does mean if there is one in here, I might miss it, or I might make a mistake, or I might see it the moment you literally go to drop it into the box. It's usually what happens. But at that point, then I'm more heightened alert, right? You're like, okay, I know I need to look for this now, and so you catch them more as a result. But then, and that of course slows the process down. But right now, I am very much making good progress on this particular batch in a box. Also helps that we're dealing with the assembled, some assembled items instead of all loose pieces, which the last bag didn't have much in the assembly way of things. And so I had to examine every single piece almost critically, much more critically. So sorry there. I am definitely on the end of my rope with regards to my back for today. I ended up trying to stretch backwards and then move forwards to just help me last a little longer, and I ended up smacking the camera, so I apologize for that. But I think I'm about done. I'm at this point just grabbing as many of the large pieces as I could possibly find, and I think that might be about it for now. I've got some smaller. Oh, here we go. Here's a little thing left over. Interesting. I have not seen yet a car base of this type before from Lego. So that's interesting. Yeah, I think I'm about done. So I will. You probably won't notice any skips or whatnot, but more than likely we will just pick up where we have stopped here in the same video. So I will see you in a few. We are continuing our box from last night. It is another day for me, but it'd probably be the same video for the as it was last night for me, but the same video for you. Continuation. And so we're going to continue on with this third box bag that we have. We've still got a number of pre-built items in here to break apart and break down. So we're going to do that. There's a, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little green mark there on that white brick. But that'll easily come off in the wash process. So, you know, again, these pieces, good condition. It'll be easier to wash them, take care of them. Won't be as bad to have to worry about dirt and grime and things along that nature. So, nothing really going on with me today. Just got off of work, took care of the animals. Figured I'd spend a little time sorting, at least until my back can handle it, or, you know, as long as my back can handle it. And then I'll probably take a break and maybe actually start editing these videos and for the first time upload them to YouTube, because as of yet I still haven't done that. So I still don't know how this is all going to be received, how well this is going to go. But I won't know until I try. At some point I need to change the lighting setup in here. I think it's a little bad for focusing on. But I have a third light that I will try probably by the next video. So there's a hair. Goes in the trash pile. So far this bag has been very, very good with regards to quality of bricks. And oops, I just dropped a piece on the ground. You probably heard it bounce. I'll get it in a second. Got it. Try to find the pieces as quickly as possible if I do drop them, just because I will probably forget about them later. And, you know, typically I find them later on. I make sure I look around the floor once things are a little more space. That's also an issue right now, because this office is pretty full with boxes of Legos. But I'm slowly condensing it down. Hopefully everyone's doing fine on this day. Here's where I'm going to need to use the removal tool. Can't seem to get those split. And now I've got a crack in those and I can split those up. That's one of the best benefits to that removal tool, especially for small bricks, is separating them. Oh, here we are. So this is, looks like, yep, perfect fit. Well, almost. Goodness, was this brick split into 4 pieces? Because you can see that's where that edge goes. And then you would think either way, this is split into multiple pieces. And I guarantee you it's the same piece. So we will end up trashing this. Unfortunately, there's just no saving this. So at least that answers that question. Yep, well, there's the 4th piece. Yeah. Yep, all those are gonna be trash now. Just goes to show, even in the bulk bags, things kind of tend to stick together. Getting down to the end of this 3rd box bag. Pieces are getting smaller. I'm grabbing more of them. Sorry about that if the camera just shook. My dog hit the table. He's a very floppy dog, as in whenever he lays down or moves, he flops. He's about 55 pounds. He's an English setter. I know there's an official name for it. It starts with an L, I believe. Yeah, this might be my first non-Lego in this box. I can't remember. It's been so long that I've had to put anything in the other container. But I do believe, I mean, I'm going to put it to the side to check on Bricklink, but I do believe this is a non-Lego. But anyway, as I was saying, my dog's he's an English setter. He's about 10 years old now. Maybe, I think he's 11 actually. He might be going on 11 or is 11. He's getting there, which is sad. He's been the best dog my wife and I have ever owned, by far. With regards to people, being a people dog, he's not so energetic. You know, one of the nice things about them, that at least him, he has not been so energetic that you know, like a husky or anything like that, that we have to constantly keep track of what he's doing and worry about him chewing on things and not having enough attention. He does crave attention, don't get me wrong, but and he loves people, but he also loves his naps and his downtime, which is perfect for my wife and I, because we do too. Especially with my... I dropped another piece. Oh, I might have just seen him peek his head up and look at me when I reached down. He's probably hoping for a pet. Yeah, with my medical conditions, it works out well. We don't have a high maintenance dog. He's very good dog. Doesn't always listen, but you know, for the most part, he doesn't tear things up. He's not destructive, and that's important, especially when it comes to these sort of things that I'm doing right now. You know, getting a puppy. I mean, you know, he was a little different, obviously, as a puppy. They love to chew on things, etc. And my wife and I have determined that when we do lose Zap, that's his name, Zap, we'll likely get another puppy. Hopefully one just like him, because we love him so much. And he's been such a great dog. But you know, I would have to be sure during the puppy phase that he cannot get into this office, cannot get as a hold of any of these pieces. One, you know, I don't want them destroyed, but more so, I don't want him or her choking on those said pieces. That would be bad. I wonder where all these pictures are coming from. I'm not familiar with every single set, obviously. I do believe it looks like they're a Lord of the Rings set, based upon the pictures. But I've come across so many of them. It's like, how many of those are there in here? And here's another one, although that's not a picture of, but this is the second one of these I found in this bag, even. It's not like, you know, I've got a different box and it's potentially somebody else who had the same set. More than likely it was the person who had the same set twice, maybe. Again, I don't know. There was a set that had multiple pictures in it, but it'd be something I'd have to look up. Here we go, another picture. I know. Oops, that one still had a white light on it. Again, can't be perfect every time. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had seen where it dropped, I would have just let it go and waited until the wash cycle to separate that out. And sometimes even pieces make it through the wash inspection cycle, I would say, and it's during the sortation cycle that I find things. The last sortation cycle, where I'm actually separating everything out by color. And I just spotted a fourth one. So, yeah, don't know what's going on with. I'm gonna put that back because I can't grip it right now with my hand full. But obviously, somebody had multiples of the same set of the sorts. Now that is definitely not a Lego piece. That is definitely a Battleship piece, because there's no hollow portion at the beginning of this, which is what the new pieces that Lego created that look like this have. And I recognize this as a Battleship piece, so we're gonna throw that in the Goodwill box. This particular bag has had a rare non-Lego pieces or things in general, which is great. It's what we want. as you can tell, I trust this bag more so because I'm not even really looking at the pins very much to see if they're deformed, because I don't believe them to be, from whoever had this, owned this prior. More pictures and of the same thing. Yeah, that's actually kind of amazing me actually right now how many of these are in here. And if they all belong, one per set, to a single set, then wow, somebody either really purchased a lot of these, or sometimes I wonder, you know, sometimes I wonder if Lego doesn't donate boxes that might get damaged to Goodwill, because I can't imagine a child having, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's children out there and people who have almost every single set, right? They collect them. Children just, you know, depending upon how much money their parents have all the money in the world, they can get anything they want. But even then, why would you have multiples of the same set? Unless you had a plan to use those pieces for something else. But that's just me because I didn't grow up that way, and so, you know, I have no idea. And, you know, nothing against those parents. They spoil their children, and I'd use spoil loosely, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that there could be reasons, you know. Sometimes I do wonder, and this might be on a sad note, you know, if this isn't a parent spoiling their ill child, and something happens to that child eventually, and therefore the parent gets rid of all the Legos, donates them to Goodwill after having, you know, basically tried to give their child what they wanted growing. Anyway, I do wonder that sometimes, but we're going to try to keep a positive note here, I guess. So let's just hope this was all, somebody got grown up, somebody grew up, didn't want these anymore. Or, like I said, maybe they got donated, you know, from a Lego store or some sort of play area, and there were multiples of all those things there, things like that. It's possible, not saying it's unlikely or impossible. It might be unlikely though. Yep, I think I just dropped something in there that was still connected, but I will get it later. It was tiny. Really, Zap? Really? Okay. Yep, there's like a little connects piece. I gotta be careful as this box below me starts getting filled, that I'm dumping these as high as I am, but for your benefit, because they'll start bouncing out, especially the smaller pieces. Get hit by a larger piece or something like that. I don't know what that is. That doesn't look like a Lego. Interesting. Put that to the side. Kind of neat though, whatever it was. Okay, what is the same thing? I just dropped a piece, a very small one. I don't know if you heard it bounce quite a bit. Found it. It's a little eyeball. Looks like I might have another battleship piece here. Yep. Down to our last handful or two on this bag. Uh-oh, that corner of that box is a little ripped. I'm gonna have to tape that up. I'm gonna have, or put all this into a different box. I didn't realize that pieces will escape towards the top of that corner. This is basically the box I store things in, or you know, I'll pick a box. Not saying the box, but I'll pick a box to store things in until the cleaning process. After this initial filtration process. So we're down to the last items here. And that's it. That was box number 3, sorted through. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here, or this episode or whatnot, and start another box today, but I will start it in another episode. So thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again soon.